Hey y'all, it's Deb. Welcome back. Today I'm going to walk you through what our no spend January is going to look like. Now, before I share this with you, please understand this is going to look different for everybody. You may start a low buy, a no buy, or you don't care, you're going to buy everything. So keep that in mind as I share these details with you. I'm one of those weirdos that when I was born, there was a glitch in my DNA. Let me explain. So I love a Monday. I love Mondays. Mondays are one of my favorite days of the week. I don't know what it is. I've never been able to figure this out. I think I love the idea of a fresh start, a new week, goals that can be made. I can get more done in a Monday almost than the rest of the week combined. Now, if I love Mondays that much, imagine how much I love the start of a new year. I am terrible with New Year's resolutions. That is not my thing, and that's not what we're going to talk about today. But I love the start of a new year. Adam and I often will meet together. What do we want our new year to look like with the family, serving in our church, and especially financially? I have been doing no buy Januaries for years, at least 15. I remember because my children were toddlers. They're now 18 and 17 and they were toddlers. It's been a long time. I don't know really what started it. I know the feeling that started it, but it obviously wasn't because it was on YouTube or on Instagram, because those things were nowhere near what they are now. My belief system was we just came off of Christmas, and most people in America, not everybody, are spoiled, and we know it. I mean, let's just admit it. We ate all the things, saw all the things, got gifts. Most of us feel physically like, I've had enough, I can't eat anymore, I can't see anymore, I'm done. And that's the feeling that I was having over 15 years ago. Well, if we just came off of that, what a great time to start a no buy or a low buy at the beginning of the year and the month following Christmas. Most of us at the beginning of January feel like, I need a vegetable, I need to go for a walk, I need to reset some things because I don't feel good. Something happened inside of me about 15 years ago where I had that same feeling about the amount of stuff and the amount of materialism that was happening. Now, I'm not a minimalist, I will never be one. I think it's great, it's not for me. But my thing is, the same way that you feel that way sometimes physically, you can actually feel that way financially. I know it's true for me. So for my family, it was more about trying to reset our attitude of being grateful and content with what God has given us. And we take it very seriously in this house. And so for me, that's how the no buy Januaries actually started. Come to find out, they are really great financially. If you've never tried one, I'd like to challenge you to do it. Now, if you watch the no spend or the low spend Januaries here on YouTube, you're going to see a plethora of different rules and guidelines that people give themselves. I'm going to lay out mine, and I'm hoping that it will give you some inspiration or some ideas of how you and your family can tackle this next coming month. The first category that we're going to crunch down in our family is our grocery budget. Now, if you feel like you have no room in this area, don't worry about it. Just follow along, and I'm cheering you on. I know it's hard for a lot of people. We live in South Florida, so keep that in mind. My grocery prices may look different from yours, and essentially I'm feeding 4 adults and a preteen. We go through a lot of food. So for the month of January, I'm going to limit myself to $900 for the whole month for all the food items. That breaks down to $225 per week. I'm also giving myself $100 for toiletries. That means laundry detergent, trash bags, body wash, deodorant, toothpaste, all that stuff. I think I can do it. I'm not sure. Y'all can watch along. I'm going to update you guys every week, let you know, especially at the end of January. I'll let you know if I was able to do it. So let me tell you an idea I came up with last night. I went on my Walmart app and I made my weekly grocery list. I should have been doing this years ago. It would have saved me a whole lot of trouble. I went through the Walmart app and I added to my cart, I'm not going to purchase it, but I added to the cart everything I buy every single week. And yes, I'm going to share it with y'all. So I went through and I added every meat item, dairy, produce, and you know what I'm talking about. All the things that I buy every single week, no matter what's going on, what the schedule is. We pretty much rotate through the same 12 to 15 recipes in any given month, and then we just repeat them. So I know the food that we need. Why do I not keep a permanent list? This was brilliant. This is gonna save me so much work every week. So one, I've already got my grocery list made, right? Two, I figured out, right now, as of today, those groceries cost $173. That is not what they were 2 years ago, but whatever, let's move on. Now that I know how much those same groceries are gonna cost me every single week, no matter what, now I know how much wiggle room I have. So if I've budgeted $225 a week, I now have about $50 left over for a cushion. So here's my plan. My plan is to take that 50 and kind of build a small stockpile. I'm gonna walk you through that in a second. Once I have a small stockpile built up, I won't have to buy those same things every single week. Now, produce is a little bit different because it's gonna go bad. You have to buy that every week. But if I have $50 left over in the budget, that is when you wanna buy extra rice, extra beans, extra meat, anything you can freeze like butter or milk or bread. You can freeze a lot of stuff, by the way. Buy those items, put them away, and then that will bring down my weekly budget for every other week, hoping at the end of January, I'll actually have some money left over. The other benefit of keeping that weekly list on my Walmart app, it allows me to see what's on sale this week, what are they out of. I don't know about y'all, but every week there's something on my list I cannot get, and that's fine. We can sort of get through that, but it helps me to see it before I ever get to the grocery store or before I ever make my menu for that week. So it helps me see what the store is out of. It helps me see what's on sale. And it tells me whether or not eggs, like the price of eggs keep going up and down, and it's kind of hard to follow. If I already have it in the app, I know as soon as I'm looking at it. And yes, it will update. It updated me this morning that 2 of my items are on sale. So it's such a great idea. I don't know why I've never done this before. It's very, very helpful. If you have children in your home, I would highly recommend bringing them in on this. Children love a good challenge as much as we do. And for my family, we have found that when we bring them in on this type of conversation and we let them feel like they're a part of it, this is a challenge that the family gets to do together. It's kind of the same thing as you sitting down and doing a jigsaw puzzle. Like, you're working together all toward the same goal. It can really help form some great family relationships. And with that, I told my children, I was like, listen, if we're gonna do this and we all wanna do it, there are some items I'm not gonna be buying this month. So when you have this conversation with them, remind them it's not permanent. It's 1 month. Everybody can go without their little special treats or snacks or whatever for 1 month. And then in February, we're gonna re-examine it. But I have found that when they realize that they're giving like a little something up to help the family, they actually like it. It makes them excited. Now, they may not show that on the outside, but I'm telling you, I've been doing this for 15 years. We have never had a problem. So bring them in on the conversation, explain to them what you're doing, and explain to them some of the things that everybody's gonna give up. It's not just them. Mom's giving up something that she wants. Daddy's giving up something that he probably prefers. And that's okay, we're all gonna do this together. Okay, so we've covered the big food grocery item because that tends to be where most people spend the most money outside of their living expenses. The other thing that my family is not gonna be doing, we're not gonna be going bowling, we're not going to the movies. So for us, we call that our entertainment category. The only entertainment we're gonna be doing is free. So we can take walks on the beach, or we can take walks after dinner here at home. We can watch movies that we already have. We can go to the library. And you know what I'm talking about, looking in your community for anything that's free. And if you're having trouble figuring out some of that stuff that your family would enjoy, Pinterest is a great sort of search engine for things like that. Just look up free family entertainment. Along those lines, my family is going to be really careful how we spend our gas. Now, let me explain something. We live in South Florida and the traffic is no joke. And we live a good 30 minutes away from my husband's work, my boys' high school, and our church. Now, to clear something up that can be a little bit confusing, we homeschool our children until the 9th grade, and then they go to our church's private school. So I'm homeschooling our daughter, our boys go to the high school. So that's to clear that up. Other than work and school, and my boys have jobs, but they pay for their own gas. So apart from those necessity type things, we won't be driving places unless it's 4 errands in one day, and then we don't run, like I won't be running errands the rest of the week. You really need to plan that stuff out. But I should be doing that anyway, right? And I do. I'm very conscious of that anyway. But in January, we are not going to be spending gas money, especially with gas prices the way they are, where we live, and how far away from everything that we are. My family is just going to try to be a lot more careful. Let me walk you through my plan for my personal spending or financial diet goals. So in Adam and I's budget, in our budget, we have a line item for fun money for him and fun money for me. Typically, because I'm not big into shoes, I'm not big into purses or anything, sunglasses, whatever, things that most women are spending their money on, manicures, hair color. Clearly, I do not color my hair, and I won't ever. I'm not into that kind of thing. If you are, totally fine. It's just not for me. I am into makeup. I like it. It makes me happy. It helps me relax. I get to be creative. Now, I will go out of this house 5 times a week with no makeup on. I don't feel like I need it. I'm perfectly happy with my face completely bare. I've got videos on here with no makeup on, but I need to stop. I have enough, especially eyeshadow, to last me well into my 90s. I need to quit. So I've made a personal goal of no makeup for 2023 unless I've run out, like foundation, lip liner, eyeliner, mascara, things like that. Like things that need to be replaced because it's, mascara can go bad after a little while. So things like that, that's fine. But I won't be buying any eyeshadow. And y'all, let me tell you, that's gonna take some self-control. Because it's my favorite and I love it. It makes me happy. Anyway, I want to be content with what I have, and I have enough. So you might be asking, okay, well, what are you going to use your fun money for? Adam and I have something special planned for this summer to celebrate our 20th wedding anniversary. I hope we get to do it. If we don't, it's fine, but we both really hope we get to do it. If we do, I'm going to need a few items. I've lost a little bit of weight. I do need to replace some of my clothes, but my problem is I always buy the cheap stuff, which has worked for me well, but then it doesn't last long. We live in a very hot climate, so my tank top, shorts, and sandals, they get ruined very quickly because I'm wearing them 10 to 11 months out of the year. So I need to be more intentional and take my time and research what I like, what I know I want to wear, the colors, fabrics, things like that. I just want to be more intentional. So my plan is, and I buy a lot of my clothes on Amazon. I'm not big into going to the mall or stores. I don't want to do, I just don't, it's not my thing. It used to be my thing, now I can't stand it. So I love to buy clothes online. So what I like to do is go through Amazon, and Amazon's really great for me. I'm tall, I'm 5'10", and the clothes I can find on there, they do last me a long time, and they fit me really well, and you can try it on, and then if it doesn't fit, take it to Kohl's, send it back for free. That's my thing. What I have found over the last 6 months is that I'll go through some of their clothing items. I like it when you get a notification that it's on sale. That's huge. I like the fact that you can try it on at home and send it back for free. That's awesome. One of the things that I have found though is to add things to my wish list on Amazon and then revisit it in 2 to 4 weeks. Oftentimes I will go, what was I thinking? I don't like the color. I don't like the style. I'm not gonna wear that. Like this sweater, I'm gonna wear it maybe a month out of every year. It'll last me forever because I'm only wearing it for a month. It doesn't get cold enough here. Another goal for our family for the month of January to spend as little as possible is that we will not be eating out. Now, let me explain something. For the last 6 months, so it's a long story, but this past summer, my husband lost his job and it took him about 2 months to begin another one and then get paid again. Through that time, did we eat out? No, we did not. And it's fine. It worked out totally fine. We were okay, but we could not spend that kind of money. It's very expensive for us to eat out with the number of people that we have, the amount of food that teenage boys will eat. It wasn't worth it. So for the month of January, we will not be eating out. That means it is my job to plan ahead, cook enough, and make sure that we've got enough food, especially that's already cooked, so that on the nights where we're tempted to eat out, we just don't, because all we have to do is reheat something up. So you see my my babies back here, my 2 sewing machines and my crock pot, 2 Instant Pots. I've already put them to work. I have 2 dinners cooked, ready to go, frozen in the freezer. And this week and next week, I'm gonna be putting more in there. All I have to do is take it out the night before, stick it in the fridge, put it in the oven, let it reheat. We are good to go. We don't need to eat out. But let me explain something. So we live about 30 to 45 minutes, depending on traffic, away from our church. So we go to church every Sunday. We don't get out usually until 1 because we're talking to people, and that's where our best friends are, and we don't get to see them but once a week, so we want to hang out. Well, that means we're not getting home until 1:30, and we are starving, because we're eating breakfast at like 6. So between 6 and 1:30, 2 o'clock, we are starving. So we got into a really bad habit, not bad, but we got into a habit of eating out every Sunday. Well, we had to figure out how to fix that. So our church has a kitchen attached to the office. And very often what I will do is pull one of those frozen meals out, put it in their oven on warm. Thank you, Lord, for the church kitchen. I'll put it in their oven on warm. By the time we get out over there at 1 o'clock, the food is hot, ready to go, homemade, cheaper, and we're not feeling sick from eating grease, because we were picking like, Wendy's, Burger King, or whatever, and you just feel like junk the rest of the day. So it's healthier, it's cheaper, it's better, it's faster, and then we get home earlier, and then I can take a nap. Because if you know anything about me, I take a nap every single Sunday afternoon. And part of the reason why is because I teach the 3s and the 4s, and I love them, but they wear me out. So I need a nap every Sunday. Anyway, that means that I need to be really intentional with the grocery shopping. I need to cook some meals before Sunday. Very often I'll cook them on Friday or Saturday. I have to make sure we have food ready to go by Sunday morning. I will not be cooking on Sunday morning because we have to leave our house at like 7:30, 8 o'clock to get there on time. We all have areas in my family where we serve, so we have to get there really, really early. We're not eating out in January. Now, the only exception to this, when Adam and I were planning this out, we both forgot that our son, he's a senior in high school. He's graduating and moving out soon. He has a senior fundraiser at Chick-fil-A. He works at Chick-fil-A. They're doing a fundraiser for the seniors at the high school. We're going to go support that. He is one of the seniors. He's going on the senior trip. We're going to go support that. So I sat Adam down and I said, my bad. Totally forgot that we had this night that we need to eat. We're going to eat out. Like, let me explain something too. When you're walking through your plan for your low buy, no buy, whatever for January, you need to be realistic. Don't set goals and rules for yourself that you know you're not going to follow. This fundraiser is for his class. Are we really not going to go? No, we're going to go. We're going to go. And I think because he might be working that night, we'll get a discount. But anyway, we'll see. That's not the point. The point is we had to rewrite the budget for the month of January to allot that one night. And we're going to enjoy it because it's the only night we get. You have to make sure you include, does someone in your family have a birthday? Are y'all used to eating out on that person's birthday? Does that person, would they rather mom cook something special at home? You need to make sure you go through any holidays that you might have or special days, anniversaries. Be realistic. It would be better for you to do that than to set a goal for January that you can't possibly meet and then you feel defeated. The whole point is that by the end of January, either you or everybody in your home feels like, look what we did. Look what we did together. Look at the goals that we made. And then in February, if you want to, you can keep going, or you can relax those rules. And then what I like to do is pick a couple of months throughout the year where we don't have a lot going on and no birthdays, and we'll repeat it. So I sat the children down the other night and I said, what are the top 4 meals that I make? Because that'll feed us for 4 days, right? Hang on, let me explain that. That means lunches. So if I double a recipe and we eat it for supper that night, we're all gonna eat it for leftovers the next day. My sons have a thermos, like one of those thermoses that keeps everything hot. They do work. I'll link them below, the ones that we got on Amazon. They love them. So I'll make something that all 5 of us can reheat the next day. That avoids, one, me having to plan out lunches. Lunches are easy. And it keeps everybody from eating out. So Elizabeth and we're at home. I homeschool her, so I don't really have a temptation to take her out to lunch. The boys are at school. They have their food there. Adam is at work, and Adam's great about not eating out if he's got anything to eat. He'll take a salad, he'll take a sandwich, he'll take leftovers. He's really great about that. So that is one of the biggest tips I can give you on not eating out. Make a lot, stick it in the freezer. If you don't have room in the freezer, you can throw it in the fridge, but my point is really utilize those leftovers. Most of January is gonna be super easy, super simple, streamlined. And I told the children, we're gonna eat the same thing. And I know a lot of y'all do this, but we don't. This month, however, we're gonna eat the same thing on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. So Mondays are gonna be whatever, Tuesdays, whatever, Wednesdays, whatever. And we're gonna have to plan that around our church schedule, their work, the boys' work schedule, any kind of other activities we've got going on. I'm gonna have to plan around that and make sure they all fit. My point is, make this as easy as possible. This is not the month where mom's gonna be trying 6 new recipes. That's just not feasible. We'll do that in February and that's fine. Also, what I like about this, it helps my family to look forward to other meals I might be making in another month. So we're really building that contentment and gratefulness real hard. So that's my plan for our no spend January. Feel free to follow along. Every week I'm gonna take you along with the grocery shopping, meal planning, how are things going? Was I able to stay within our budget? I'm pretty hardcore about this kind of thing, so that also means that I have to be really good about using what's in the pantry and in the freezer. So the last week of January, my plan is to walk you through my pantry challenge. There are some things in there that I need to use, and it would help bring that last week's grocery budget down. So I'll be sharing that stuff with you. I hope this was helpful. I hope you learned something. Maybe it encouraged you to try a no buy or a low buy. Thank y'all so much for following along, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.